Hello, and thanks for joining me on this episode of Simply Saturday, where I get to show you a card that is fast and easy to make. My name is Julie, and this is Stamp with Julie Baum. So for today's card, we are going to be using this very cute designer series paper called Merry and Bright. So it's kind of a whimsical, fun, bright feel, and it's going to go together quite quickly. So what you'll need for this card is a piece of our basic white cardstock that is thick, and I'm starting with a piece that's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I've scored it down the center at 4.25 inches. And let's give that a good press with a bone folder to reinforce my nice and neat crease. Okay, then I have a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock. This piece measures 4 inches by 5.25. This is going to be on the front of the card, so the panel is going to go here. Now we've got 5 pieces of designer series paper, all from the same package, and they all coordinate nicely. So what I did is just kind of look through the packet, pick out 5 patterns that I liked, and I cut 5 coordinating pieces that are 3.25 inches long by 1.25 inch wide. So once you have your 5 pieces, you're going to determine what the layout that you want these. So I kind of pre-did this. I think I'm going to start with the light bulbs first, and the fa la la, it's going to slightly overlap. What we're going to do is kind of go right, left, slightly overlapping as we work our way down. The only kind of danger of this is as you glue and you're going, at least the first one that I did, I tended to have my papers a little too low, and by the time I got to the 5th one, I didn't have as much room as I wanted. So it turned out fine. I will show you that one at the end, but you do want to take a little bit of care as you're figuring out how these lay out so you have plenty of room. So right now these are pushed up a little too high, so I am going to space them down a little lower. Also keep in mind that we're going to put a greeting on here, and so you kind of need one spot that is going to get covered. So in my mind, I'm thinking this area here because it's kind of a lot of green going on at the same spot. So those are the only things to think through, but really you're just taking your 5 coordinating pieces, laying them out, and we're going to glue them on. So I will start at the top, and with my liquid glue, I'll just attach them in order, working my way down. And once again, like with so many of our fast and easy cards on the Simply Saturday series, just by changing out your colors, your paper, your stamps, really the designs or the card layout could be for so many different occasions. All right, so I do want to overlap. I want to be careful because I want to have plenty of room for all 5 of them. Let's go ahead and get this 3rd one, and then we'll take another look to see how we're doing. That's coming together quite well. So again, after the first one, which I made, it was a little bit of a mistake on how I lined them up, but I learned from that, and the 2nd and 3rd ones have been much better. Obviously, the 3rd one here is the one that's in the middle, and so it ought to be somewhere near the middle of your piece of cardstock also. So that's another check and balance that you can do as you're moving your way down the card. Okay, and we're coming in here. I'm also trying to keep about the same distance from the edges. It's not perfectly the same, but you get the feel and the flow of it. This one could move a little bit that way. And our 5th and final one. I think that this paper is really attractive. And you might notice this is what I would consider the back side, and this is another back side. They're not necessarily Christmas, so it's kind of a great pack to have because you can use it for a few Christmas projects, and then if you have paper left over, you can continue to use it during the rest of the year. All right, that turned out quite nice the way we were able to line those up, space them out, and it looks pretty even. Okay, now I have 2 pieces of paper that I have die cut. So I've got my white piece, which I'm going to stamp on, and then I have a piece of real red with a larger banner shape. This is from Stylish Shapes Dies. I'm using Lemon Lime Twist and the Merry Christmas stamp out of the Very Cute stamp set. You could use any number of sentiment stamps here. Often I will stamp first before punching or die cutting, but to make this flow quickly for the video, I went ahead and pre-cut that, and that worked out just fine. All right, I'll attach this white stamped piece to my real red piece, and then we'll pop this up. When we put it on the card, we'll add some dimensionals. All right, so I'm going to give that a good press. Make sure it's down really good. All right, and this is going to go onto the card front. Look at how fast and easy. Okay, this is the spot that I chose because it's covering up some of this area, which I don't really think ruins the look of the card. So let's get some regular size dimensionals. And I would say 3 or 4 across the back of this will be just fine. It is a long piece. I'll go ahead and use 4. All right, once we get this in place, we can just determine if we want to add any embellishments. I do have a piece of white twine pre-cut in case we want to do a bow or a knot with that piece. All right, so I'm just going to put that right here, right up to the edge of my green. Okay, this piece is going to go onto the card base. As I mentioned, I'm using thick white cardstock for the base. Since it is the base, I wanted to have it be a little bit thicker and sturdier instead of using our regular weight cardstock for the base. All right, so that is in position. And I think that this probably would look really cute with a twine bow. So this is just white from the, maybe the Baker's Twine Basics. Is it Basics or Essentials? Okay, this is a long piece. So I'm gonna make my bow and then trim it to size and determine where I want this bow to go. All right, so we've got a couple options. This could go up here in the corner of our sentiment. It could go to the right bottom. It could go in the middle. I'm gonna trim it so I can determine better where it's gonna fit. And I think that I'm gonna go with right down here. So I'll grab a glue dot and put this into place. Squeeze it, press it right onto the dot, peel it off the backing paper. And off my finger. Yeah, I kind of think right on the corner of this paper, and then it looks nice at the bottom of that little sentiment. My glue dot is sticking out a little bit from my knot, so I'm just gonna tuck it under and then press the twine firmly over the glue dot. There we go. I think this end maybe needs to be trimmed up a smidge. There we have it. And then I think I'll add a couple of rhinestones. My rhinestones are out of reach, so let me grab those. These are just the basic rhinestone jewels, which come in handy all of the time. If you don't have something else that works, you're pretty guaranteed that your rhinestones are going to work. So I'll add a couple of these. Where do I want to start? Okay, I'm going to put one on the, do I want it on the red or on the white? I'm kind of liking that. All right, so I'm going to stick it right there, press it down. That's one. I imagine I'll be using 3, either 3 or 5. I think I'm going to keep these pretty close together on this card instead of like spreading them out. I think they're just going to be right here, here, and probably here. I am having trouble picking up my rhinestones today. All right, I think, nope, that's going to be it. There we have it. I don't feel like the inside needs anything. It's the white cardstock, so another stamp if you want, or simply your message will show up nicely there. The card on the basic white cardstock thick is nice and sturdy, so it's going to hold up very nicely. Let me show you 2 others that I did with this same design. First of all, I did this one with some papers from Walk in the Forest and a different greeting and a different die, but you can see the 5 pieces right there. And then, in fact, this was the first one that I felt got a little crowded at the bottom. So I learned from that and moved them up a little bit better in my spacing. And then I also did this one. And on this one, it seemed like the greeting was a little bit better in the center. I didn't want to cover up the bear. And so you got that look. And because it's on a crumb cake base, I did add a white panel on the inside. So there we have our cute and whimsical, super easy Christmas card. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will put a current host code and some helpful information in the description box below this video. Until next time, happy stamping.